All right. Oh, good. A couple people are already trickling in. How's everybody doing tonight? Everyone feeling Halloweeny? I know that Halloween's coming up soon, which is part of why I have this shirt behind me, and it's definitely not because I'm drying it and I was too lazy to go put it on the drying rack. It definitely has absolutely nothing to do with that fact. Hang on, let me just respond to this. Ugh. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. I'd hammer in the evening all over this land. I'd hammer out danger. I'd hammer out a warning. I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh. Good song. That's why I named today's stream after it. Why? I don't know. Felt like it. I always got to name it something funny and, well, not exactly funny, but interesting. Ugh. Sorry. As usual, I ate breakfast. Not breakfast. Jeez, I ate breakfast at 8 p.m. No, I ate dinner like 5 seconds before this started, so I'm a little gassy. But we'll get through it together. We'll get through it as a team. I don't know why StreamYard still feels the need to show me the little demo comment. Like, I don't need this, thank you. I hope that's where your similarities to stormtroopers end, Wadley, because they're incompetent and also fascist. Which is why I'm not sad that like 3 trillion of them got killed in those movies. This armor's useless. Why do we even wear it? I will say, as much as people love to, shit on the sequel trilogy, and some of it is deserved and some of it isn't, they did make the normal stormtroopers feel dangerous, especially in Force Awakens. Like, we see them taking, small caliber hits and keep going, unlike the stormtroopers in the originals, where, like, every fucking glancing shot was an insta kill. Waddle Dees are monarch lobbyists, not fascist. I don't know. I hear monarch and it sounds like the same thing to me, but you do you. How was everybody's weekend? Oh, the working class. Okay, I believe you. How was everyone's weekend? Anyone do anything crazy? Because for once in my life, I spent my weekend not sitting on my fat ass playing video games and watching YouTube and smoking drugs. I did do some of that this weekend, but mostly I didn't. No, one of my friends, can't believe I'm saying this is the first time it's ever happened to me. One of my friends got married. So I spent the weekend in Boston attending his wedding. Yeah. We stayed in a very overpriced hotel, which I won't name for legal reasons, but it was overpriced and not nice enough to justify that price. But you know what? What are you going to do? The hardest bed I've ever slept on, and I'm not sure why, because no one else's room had a hard ass fucking mattress. But I guess they have different mattresses for different sleep numbers or whatever. Maybe I could have had them replace it, but I wasn't gonna like cause problems there. So the wedding itself was very nice. We I don't know. We drank alcohol a little. Well, I didn't drink that much, but it was there. One of the bridesmaids got not exactly belligerently drunk, but drunk enough that she was slightly obnoxious towards the end of the night. And I am not going to say anyone's name because I don't want to indict anybody, but yeah, she it could have been a problem if it had gone on a little longer, but luckily it didn't. She badly wanted to get married too. When the bride tossed that bouquet, she was fucking diving on that shit like it was a grenade in Afghanistan. It was ridiculous. But you know what? We all had fun. The vows were nice. They gave out merch. I've never had a wedding give out merch before, but they gave us little goodie bags with candy and soap and hand lotion. Yeah, I've been to a wedding before. I've never been a groomsman in a wedding before, but this time I was. We rented the pale gray tuxes and the shoes, and my feet were killing me for 2 days afterwards because walking around all day in what are essentially low grade high heels. I don't know how women do it, man. And our groom bought us because like the place didn't have them, so he just bought them because they're relatively cheap. Suspenders and pink bow ties to match the bridesmaids' dresses. So I just own a pink clip-on bow tie and a set of suspenders for the rest of my life now. Okay. Maybe I'll do something with them. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll make a Halloween costume out of them. I don't know. I'm sure something could be done with it. But yeah, it was a fun time. We got to walk around Boston a little, go to some comic book stores, eat some tasty food. I forgot. Please don't think that I sound like a pervert when I say this. I forgot how fucking hot the women are in big cities. Because I don't live in one of those. I'm used to like geriatric fucking mummies everywhere I go. So like the fact that there are all these like gorgeous 20 and 30 something women walking around, it's like, oh fuck. This is weird. I should have talked to them more, but I was like, I live far away. What am I gonna do? But well, and live and learn, I guess. Maybe I should get back on Tinder if I get lonely. But then again, I don't hate myself that much, so maybe Tinder's not the best choice. But yeah, it was a fun experience. I've never been a groomsman before. I'm probably gonna have to do it again. For the next friend who gets married. God, that's fucking surreal. I forget that I'm not like 23 anymore. Like right after high school, you go through that thing where all the Republicans get married, and it's like, okay, yeah, but they're dumb. They're wild animals. I expect them to make bad decisions. But now I'm getting old enough that the sane people are getting married, and it's fucking freaking me out. I don't want to be old, man. I already feel old. Oh, speaking of, that was one thing, was that between this office chair, my recliner, and the new mattress I got like, last year, maybe the year before, my back doesn't hurt every second of every day anymore like it did for most of my life. And that was surreal getting used to that. But then I had none of those things at this hotel, so my back was fucking killing me. Like I was doing this move all day throughout the wedding. To try to stretch out my back, bend over a little, make my lower back not be in agonizing fucking pain, but it only had limited effectiveness. The things I do for my friends. I'm just glad I didn't have to be the best man, because the best man has like actual responsibilities and has to like plan things, and I didn't. I showed up when I was called. I told them I'd show up mostly sober, and I mostly accomplished that. So I'm proud of myself. So other than that, what did I do over the weekend? Not much. Because wedding, you're out and about, rehearsal dinners, hanging out with the friends that you haven't seen in forever. So I was mostly getting like an hour or two at the end of the night here and there. Like I'd steal it away. I just watch YouTube on the shitty decade-old hotel room TV. Um, Luckily, I'm caught up on all my shows and movies and shit, so it's not like I was missing anything. Because I remember back in the day, if I had a weekend like that, I'd come home to like a stockpile of shit. But now most of what I watch is on streaming, and most of it isn't on right at the second. Like, I don't know. I have like one or other than like Colbert, like the shit that plays every night that I like listen to while I eat breakfast. I've only got a couple shows, like 1, 2 a day, if that. Usually I go several days without any. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube, playing a lot of video games, playing that New Game Plus update on Indiana Jones and the Great Circle finally, because I guess it has like a new ending scene that I want to see. Plus, you can never go wrong with killing Nazis. I love me some Nazi killing. 100 Nazi scalps. It was a fun time. It's fun to have new experiences. I forgot how much I enjoy being around people my own age and not like elderly people, not having to, you know, worry about how things at home are going. Sorry, I'm just looking at a thing. I mean, not that I like have to worry about that now. I'm sure my mom would fucking kill me if I said that in front of her, but you know, I always try to take care of the people around me, and it's nice to be around people young enough that I don't really have to worry about it. And plus, people young enough they understand all my fucking memes and jokes and shit, because it gets very old having to like explain to your grandma what 6'7" is when you don't even know what 6'7" is. Oh yeah, you guys hear about this fucking group chat thing? Hang on. Sorry, let me just retweet this. Yeah, here we go. Here's some actual content to talk about. So we got racist fucking posts from Paul Ingracia, which is not the name you associate with a white supremacist, by the way. I probably. Hang on, I'm going to take this off screen for a second and make sure that I can actually put what's in these messages on screen. Okay, yeah, I think I can get away with this. All right. Yeah, so this motherfucker says that MLK Day should be tossed into the seventh circle of hell. Gets a Jesus Christ as a response. Do you know how fucking racist you have to be to get a Jesus Christ from the racist Republican group chat? I do have a Nazi streak in me from time to time. I will admit it. Well, you shouldn't have admitted it. That's not the kind of thing you say out loud. It's not the kind of thing you think, but it's definitely not the kind of thing you say out loud. Not reading that one out loud. You can read it for yourselves. Very old-fashioned racism, isn't it? Like normally you hear these fucking ghouls bitching about like Hispanics or whatever or trans people. You don't hear like the Chinese, the Chinese. They're usually considered what they call the model minority, the one who like behave themselves and excel in business or whatever the fuck, whatever that means to these fucking idiots. Indian, I guess that makes it doesn't make sense, but within the logic of a brain melted shut, I guess hating Indian people makes sense to some extent because they're brown. But you don't hear that very often. You don't hear them fucking complaining about that. And come to think of it, now that Elon allows make money off of blue check engagement farming tweets, like 60% seemingly of the fucking neo Nazis on Twitter are Indian. because, I don't know, that money goes a long way there. And then lastly, I said we were making Kwanzaa illegal in the next Trump admin. He doesn't know what Kwanzaa is. I kind of know what Kwanzaa is. That was the gist of my tweet. I'm not reading that one in case that... I mean, I know it's a racial slur. I don't know if that's the kind that YouTube will fucking hit me for, so I'm not reading it just in case. From Kwanzaa to MLK Jr. Day to Black History Month to Juneteenth, every single one needs to be eviscerated. First of all, good for you for spelling eviscerated correctly. I did not think that was within your capabilities. And second, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, why are you like this? It's not reasonable to be like this. I'll put it back up. It's not reasonable to be like this. Something happened in this fucking guy's life. Like, I don't know if his fucking high school crush dated a black dude, or if he grew up with racist parents and just internalized it, because as we all know, the coolest fucking thing you can do is believe exactly what your parents believe. I don't know if he had some kind of unresolved trauma, or if he got radicalized. Well, I think he's too old to be radicalized by Gamergate. Let me find out how old this fucking dipshit is. He's an attorney. He's clearly not... Jesus fucking Christ, man. He's 30. So yeah, he could have been radicalized by fucking Gamergate. Jesus. This fucking dude is 30? Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. I completely messed up what I'm doing here. I set my StreamYard settings wrong, and it's showing you the wrong tab. So let me fix that. This fucking dude. Look at this shit. This guy's 30? Why does he look like this? Why the fuck is he like this, man? Like, is this what a 30-year-old looks like to you? I mean, I guess he doesn't have that many wrinkles, but like, look how fucking dead his eyes are. This guy looks like a 47-year-old, I don't know, plumber with 3 kids and 1 to 2 mortgages and a wife that fucking hates him. I mean, hell, I'm sure that a lot of that is true, but like, why the fuck does he look like this? And why is he who he is? Let's find out together, huh? Let's do that. You studied economics and wound up a fucking conservative, huh? It happens a lot, I'm not sure why. Damn, this dude's a true believer in fucking racism. Including a false claim that Nikki Haley is ineligible to serve as president. Dude, they fucking... Like, Nikki Haley is one of the most diehard Trump loyalists there is, man. Do you know how fucking racist you have to be to hate someone who, like, is on your side like that? Yeah, Bayport, New York. Is Bayport, New York like a racist place that I don't know about? Because this dude, like, why the fuck is he like this? Oh, I co-hosted a podcast with his sister. That's interesting. I thought women were supposed to stay at home according to these fucking stupid ideals. No, it wasn't. Trump does not fucking read Substack. Trump doesn't read. He doesn't fucking he doesn't know what letters are anymore. His brain is melting. Representing clients accused of having participated in the January 6th. Well, yeah, of course he fucking defended them. Like, that's a feature for these people, not a bug. Andrew Tate, of course. Special counsel. Oh yeah, so here's where he like where we're talking about it. Here's what's going on right now. Lack of legal experience. Yeah, here we go. Senate panel to consider his nomination was postponed following public backlash over his lack of legal experience, association with neo-Nazis, and record of denigrating public workers. Isn't this the type of dude we love to have in politics, everybody? Politico published text messages from a group chat with Republican operatives and influencers. Yeah, here we go. Said he had a Nazi streak. Really sucks that George Floyd has his own Wikipedia. I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't, but you know, it's always sad when someone's Wikipedia is all about how they fucking croaked, you know. Okay. Used an Italian slur for black people. Yeah, that's the one that was on screen earlier. Blacks behave that. Oh, here, let me highlight this so that this doesn't get misconstrued as me saying this. Blacks behave that way because it's their natural state, and all of Africa is a shithole. He's never fucking been there, I'm willing to bet, so how would he know? He's seen like memes from fucking Pol or whatever. It's so let me fucking talk about this for a second. It's really surreal to me. I mean, it shouldn't be because like the passage of time makes it inevitable, but it's so nuts that like we now have conservative operative, like people old enough to be conservative operatives with legitimate influence, who are also young enough that they grew up not only like with the internet, because the internet's been around for 35 years at this point, roughly, but like this fucker grew up on Pol. I'm assuming, like, it's a reasonable fucking assumption from what he's saying and doing. He's born in 1995. That's only a couple years older than me. So he grew up with all the same shit I did. He grew up clearly he was allowed on Pol because fucking parents didn't prevent it, I'm guessing. But yeah, like he grew up with online right bullshit. So now he's an influential adult who can say shit like blacks are like that because it's their natural state or whatever fucking horseshit he said. Because back in the day, that was like lunatic behavior that even someone as racist as like Ronald Reagan wouldn't say out loud. I mean, the Republicans were always fucking racist as shit, at least post-Southern strategy anyway, because before that, it's like a different party entity. So if we're talking modern Republicans, post-Nixon, they've always been racist as fuck. And it's always been pretty obvious that they're racist as fuck if you know anything about politics and can engage critically with anything you see or hear. But they didn't used to have the balls to say that shit out loud and expect no consequences. Like, when the Ku Klux Klan endorsed Reagan, he had to reject their endorsement. Was his heart in that? No, he fucking loved the Klan. He loved killing black people. It was his favorite goddamn hobby. But he understood the optics. He knew he had to reject that idea. Now, fucking these people are in here saying shit like all of Africa's a shithole. Oh, he said that racist shit about Indians in reference to Vivek Ramaswamy? Damn, again, like, Vivek is a fucking diehard Trump guy. Like, well, you're so fucking racist that you're spitting in the face of people who are on your side? Dude, why? What the fuck is going on in your life, man? I almost pity these people because nobody turns into this because they had a happy childhood. It's like something's wrong. Your parents didn't love you, or they protected you, or they didn't protect you, I should say, from fucking insane online shit. I don't know, man. Hang on, let me confirm that Reagan story is actually correct. I don't want to be spreading misinformation on here the other day. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to be spreading misinformation just because I heard it the other day. Okay, yeah. All right, it's true. Hang on. I don't know why I opened an incognito tab for this, just because it's an embarrassing question, I guess. Yeah, so here we go. Okay, so Reagan, to his credit, was smart enough to reject the open endorsement of the KKK. Okay, so it looks like this fucking Paul Ingrassia guy is not gonna be special counsel because of this. So I just heard this earlier today, so I hadn't confirmed it was true. But generally, like if it makes it to Wikipedia, it's probably accurate. Yeah, okay. So even the Republicans are like, all right, nah, fuck this. We can't have this guy on here. Ingrassia has advocated for the First Amendment. That's fucking rich. The First Amendment to these people just means the right to be racist without public backlash. Particularly, yeah, here we go. Dissident voices within conservative environments. He means Nazis. He means that he should be allowed to be fucking screaming 1488 and that nobody should get to be mad at him about it. Following the 2020 election, he called for Trump to declare martial law and called for secession if the efforts to overturn the election failed. Yeah, fucking let them at this point. I don't care. Fuck you. National divorce, balkanize. It's time. Fuck these people. They voted for this. Really hate that attempts to overturn 2020 election is so prominent. It has its own fucking Wikipedia article. Jesus Christ. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember Sebastian Gorka, but he was one of Trump's lunatic guys, and he looks like this. That's like the most normal looking photo of him I've ever seen, by the way. I don't know why he fucking looks like this. I don't know why he styled his goatee to look as evil as possible, because he looks like evil Spock from that one Star Trek episode. That's weird that it does not say his nationality here like it does for everyone else. I mean, I don't care. It's just kind of weird. Okay. He denounced Sebastian Gorka for rebuking a post that called for Mike Pence to be arrested and hanged. And he has compared Mike Pence to Brutus and Judas Iscariot. Brutus and Judas, huh? Didn't realize that rhymes. Almost like it's all fucking bullshit. Gracia has advocated for the far-right political pundit Nick Fuentes. Yeah, dissident voices, again. He loves that term, I guess. Or maybe they're just referencing the same quote again. Holy, what the fuck? Has called for reparations from the descendants of slaves to the descendants of slave owners. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Oh my, okay, now don't be thinking that he's fucking based all of a sudden because he called October 7th a psyop. All right, he's doing fucking anti-Semitism shit there. If you go far enough right, you also hate Israel, but for the wrong reasons. Toxic ideologies. Fucking ironic coming from this dude. October 25th. Oh, so this is just the same shit we just read about. We need competent white men in positions of leadership. The founding fathers were wrong that all men are created equal. We need to reject that part of our heritage. Dude, you're not supposed to say that part out loud. We all know you think it. That's like, duh. The R next to your name indicates that you think that. But why the fuck would you say it out loud? And also, so I've been dancing around this for the last like 10 minutes that I've been discussing this fucking guy. How is that his fucking name and he's a white supremacist? Ingrassia? Fucking Ingrassia? Dude, you're not fucking white. Not according to your definition. It doesn't say what his nationality is, but I'm guessing Italian from the name Ingrassia. Italian or something similar. Dude, You're not fucking white by your own definition. Look at this shit. You are not fucking white. How are you a white supremacist who's not fucking white? Why are you like this? Like, at least, I can't believe I'm saying this. At least when David Duke does his ridiculous Nazi horseshit, he actually is fucking white. You, Paul Ingrassia, are not by your own definition white. Until fairly recently in U.S. history, you would be considered a racial minority. Like, it took until like the 1930s, 40s for Italian immigrants to broadly be considered white. Like, you can go back, I don't remember the name of him, but you can go back and read like 1920s or 30s era newspaper profiles on like famous baseball players from New York who are of Italian descent, and they'll be doing the whole like, don't worry, he's not too Italian thing in the news. Like, don't worry, he likes American food. He's not obsessed with spaghetti, which is weird because I'm fucking obsessed with spaghetti. But why the fuck? Stop taking screenshots, StreamYard. Thank you. Why the fuck is he like this, man? Oh, jeez, it. Sorry. Why? What the fuck do I say about this? Why is he like this? How do you become this fucked up? Did your parents not love you? Did I don't know. Hang on. Okay, Daily Caller is the one I thought it was. Okay. I wasn't sure if Daily Caller was the same thing as Daily Wire, and it's not exactly the same thing, but it basically is. You know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna find out what happened in this guy's childhood. Let's see what I can find. Early life. Oh, there's also wow. Okay, same exact fucking. There's also a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist from Reuters, also named Paul Joseph Ingrassia. That doesn't actually matter. It's just amusing. I can find a little bit about this guy's early life. Okay. Why is Paul Ingrassia so racist? Yeah, no one knows. He's not interesting enough to have any fucking details about his childhood. Because that's always what I want to know when I find out, like, Stephen Miller, one of these people, like, what happened to them that made them this way? Because it's not socially, despite their best efforts, it's not socially acceptable to be a Nazi. Normal people still, even after all the saturation, look at Nazi shit and they're like, hey man, what the fuck is wrong with you? Even like conservatives do that. Like, yeah, you it doesn't feel like this, but most conservative voters, while they may be racist, like they'll be talking about how like immigrants need to do it the right way or whatever. But then if you go up to them and you start saying like, hell yeah, brother 1488 Sieg Heil, they're going to be like, hey man, can you leave? Why are you doing this? Why? Also, like, does Trump know? Like, Trump's fucking daughter and son-in-law are Jewish. He has to know that this guy fucking. Well, actually, no. See, that's the thing. The real answer is Trump isn't making any of these fucking decisions because his brain is melting, and it's just like I said last time, the fucking Steamboat Willie gif playing on a loop over and over again. So, which unelected White House staffer is the one making all these decisions? Is what I want to know. Oh my god. At least Twitter's still funny, right? What else is going on in the fucking news? Let's see. Is anything interesting, I should say? I mean, it's all, you know. Oh yeah, Trump wants the fucking DOJ to pay him $230 million for the investigations. The DOJ that he controls now. Like, I almost respect how open the grift is. Like, it's obviously terrible and he shouldn't be like this, but like part of me respects the fact that he doesn't even keep up the pretense of serving the people or whatever he says. And he's just like, nah, fuck you, give me money. Oh, okay, I didn't know this. Hang on. So Ingracia did formally withdraw nomination. Jesus, he's staring into my fucking soul there. You can tell that this dude, like, has hookers in his basement or fucking molest children or both. Probably both. Like I can too easily picture this guy not so much as a Nazi because again he's not fucking white, but I could definitely picture this guy wearing one of Mussolini's military uniforms, fucking beating the shit out of some minorities. 30 fucking years old. It's ridiculous. Meanwhile, all the elected positions are forcibly staffed by like 250-year-old geriatric fucking mummies. It's fucking bad scene, man. People are very strange these days. Is there anything fucking good going on Twitter? I gotta start coming into these with topics actually prepared rather than just riffing for an hour and a half. Oh my god. Sorry, Twitter distracts me because ADHD. Ugh. So what else is going on for everybody? Anything interesting? I see people are watching, but nobody's very active in the chat, which, you know, fair enough. When I watch shit on YouTube, I'm not usually active in the chat either. I don't know, man. Oh yeah, you guys hear about the whole everyone is 12 theory? Because it's being increasingly vindicated. Fucking White House officials are doing your mom jokes now. Which would be, you know, if that was actually funny, that'd be more amusing that we've decayed to this point. But, you know, I guess not. I should not scroll on Twitter given what is on my Twitter. Like there's a non-zero chance of like a porn video popping up. That's why I love Twitter, man. You can watch porn on there. It's not illegal. It's so fucking lame that Facebook and Instagram have like nudity restrictions. Like that's why I won't join Threads. I ain't joining a Twitter with no titties. And then people are like, "Oh, well, kids can go on there." Okay, well they fucking shouldn't. Stop letting your kids on social media. We get all these constant like, oh, they're tweaking the algorithm because it did damage to kids, and then they like went on a shooting spree or killed themselves or whatever. And it's like, yeah, that's tragic. You know how you prevent that? Don't let your fucking kids on social media. Jesus goddamn Christ. Don't ruin my fucking experience because you don't want to parent your little shit goblin fuck trophy. Like, I don't want your fucking kids on here. I want to look at anime titties and laugh at memes and like watch the video of Charlie Kirk getting shot over and over again. Not really. I kind of wish I hadn't seen that, but I did see it on Twitter uncensored. Don't ruin my fucking experience. This is why I spend most of my time on Twitter. I can look at real things. People can use big boy words. People can say killed and not unalived or whatever the fuck TikTok makes you say. What I think we should do, since TikTok is populated by children and people who think like children, we should make that the app for kids. We should kick the fucking adults off and let the kids play around and do their stupid little TikTok dances and their lip syncing and videos and all that bullshit. And then they can let adults go on the other apps and look at, well, not exactly real content, but Christ, at least content for adults. I'm not saying my Twitter is a bastion of intellectual fucking prowess, but god damn it, at least people can say big boy words on it. True. Ugh. All right, I'm not looking at Twitter anymore. I'm gonna get fucking distracted if I keep looking at goddamn Twitter. Ugh. Oh yeah, you hear about that? Here, I'll pull it up. Star Wars. I don't know why Yahoo News is the one that I'm going to, but you know, it's all over the place. We know it's legit. They rejected a Steven Soderbergh Ben Solo Star Wars movie. Now, granted, I'm not like a massive Steven Soderbergh fan, but he's made some decent movies, so this probably would have been cool. Okay, so it would have been set after Rise of Skywalker, which doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, I mean, as I fucking yeah, Bob Iger couldn't see how Ben Solo was alive. I mean, yeah, and I don't want to give Bob Iger credit for anything because he's a fucking asshole, but I don't know. I mean, they made Asajj Ventress somehow come back from the dead. They've done that a million fucking times. They could have made a decent Ben Solo movie. I thought that was a joke when I saw it on Insta, and the post didn't mention Soderbergh's potential involvement. He's probably as qualified of a Star Wars director as Matt Vaughn. I don't think Matt Vaughn's ever directed Star Wars, so I'm not sure what you mean by qualified. I'm assuming you mean like his movies would fit Star Wars well. And I mean, you're right with Matt Vaughn. So I don't know, Steven Soderbergh's talented. He could probably make something out of it. I don't know. I mean, frankly, I kind of like that Star Wars has been sticking to TV because we did get a little bit oversaturated on the movies there for a few years when they were trying to do the whole like Star Wars movie every year, alternating between main series and spin-offs. It's like, okay, I liked those movies mostly, but I don't know. Like tell the side stories on TV. No, I meant that I don't think he's qualified to make a Star Wars film, as in neither of them should be given that privilege. I think Matt Vaughn could do it. X-Men First Class and the Kingsman movies are good, so I like Vaughn's work, but like Guy Ritchie, he's good at one thing. That is way more true of Guy Ritchie, though. Like, let's be real here. I'm not saying every movie Matthew Vaughn's ever made was great, but I've seen a number of his movies and I like them. And plus, you know, he did Kick Ass. Kick Ass isn't real, other than being like a little bit zany and violent. Kick Ass isn't really that similar to Kingsman. Like, it's not the same genre. I mean, I don't know. He could probably do a half decent Star Wars movie. I mean, we let J.J. Abrams do two of them. We let Phil Lord and Christopher Miller do half of one, and then let Ron Howard finish it. And it's amazing that Solo came out as relatively good as it did because of that whole behind the scenes bullshit. I don't know. I mean, if Matthew Vaughn did a Star Wars movie, I'd give it a shot. Let's find out what Matthew Vaughn's directed because I know I haven't seen all of his movies. Unfortunately for him, he is British. Okay, here's the list. First Class is probably his most capable film, but I really liked Kingsman and Layer Cake the most, which seems more suitable for him to be making a Pulp Fiction or spy flick. Yeah, he did all three of the Kingsman movies, and they were all great to varying extents. But yeah, like here's the full list. I have not seen Layer Cake or Stardust. I'm just counting stuff he directed here. Kick-Ass is one of my favorites. X-Men First Class is great. Both of the Kingsman movies, actually all three of the Kingsman movies right here, are great. Argyle was, it was all right. Like, it had issues, but there was still some decent shit in there. And Courage is upcoming. Yeah, I guess I've seen most of his movies except for Layer Cake and Stardust. Layer Cake is the perfect alternative to Pulp Fiction, and I plan to do a video essay about that. Well, link it to me when you do, because I'd like to hear that. Hang on, let me add Stardust to my... Here, you don't need to see my shit. Let me add Stardust to my watch list if it's not already on there. Okay, it is. Ah, yes, I can tell that this movie is from 2007. You know how I can tell? This fucking color grading. I don't know what it is, but there was a period from like maybe 2006 to 2010, 11 where every fucking movie was color graded so as to really overemphasize orange and blue. And like I get it, they're complementary colors, they look good contrasted against each other, but I was so fucking sick of it by the end. I was thinking about that recently because I, for some reason, went to the effort of finding from the library the movie Mr. Woodcock, which is not a porno despite its title. And I watched it, and it had that fucking hideous color grading. It wasn't a very good movie, I should say. I see why it faded off into relative obscurity. As I wrote my review here, this movie's ethics are completely nuts. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's about Sean William Scott plays Stifler from American Pie. He plays like a motivational speaker, like self-help guru writer guy who learned all these lessons because, like, I guess his childhood was fucked up. Like his dad died young or whatever, and he had this abusive gym teacher named Mr. Woodcock. And then he comes home to his hometown for like an award celebrating him and finds out that Mr. Woodcock is dating his mom and that they get engaged. And so it's like, hijinks ensue, ha ha ha. But the movie kind of wants us by the end to think, oh, this Mr. Woodcock guy isn't so bad, because we see how like we meet his dad briefly, and his dad's kind of a fucking prick, and like his really rough style of teaching taught kids how to be confident and shit. And it ultimately, Stifler, that's what I'm calling him, says, oh, well, that's why he turned me into who I am. So you're supposed to go, oh, he's not so bad, but you're like, no, he's a fucking monster. Like, he's Billy Bob Thornton, so he's got some good zingers in there, sure, but like he abused and arguably sexually harassed a group of children. Like, there's a flashback where he makes fucking Stifler, young Stifler, he was like fat as a kid. He shows up like missing whatever he needs from gym class, like gym clothes. So they have like the temporary rental ones, but then he's like, no, you're not going in the locker room. The locker room's for people who are prepared. You're going to change right here. So he makes this child strip down to his underwear in front of all the other kids, and then like makes him try to do a pull up, which he can't do. And it's like, dude, you're arguably sexually abusing this child. Not to mention, of course, the classic gym teacher shit of, pelting them with dodgeballs and yelling insults at them and everything. But it's like, this isn't funny, and he needs to be held accountable for what a fucking piece of shit he was to Stifler. Not to mention his fucking mom, who, like, yeah, I know Stifler's mom, but it's Susan Sarandon in this movie, who fucking can still catch the pipe, if you ask me. So kind of like Stifler's mom. She seems to like not take seriously what happened to him as a kid. Like, if she even knows, which he seems to have told her, and she's, I don't know, she just doesn't take it seriously. She seems to think like, oh, it was just, he's a tough teacher. It's like, no, he's a fucking asshole. I'm so glad I grew up with a mom who advocated for me as hard as she did, because it led me to situations like this where I look at how these people behave and I say, hey, what's fucking wrong with you? Like, I have a friend who did not grow up with a supportive mom, and she still kind of to this day uses the phrase, it is what it is, to like refer to situations that are completely untenable. And I'm like, no, exterminate that shit from your fucking vocabulary. Don't ever say the phrase, it is what it is again. You should never be complacent. You should never be accepting of a bad situation. If somebody tells you that's how it's got to be, look them in the eye and say, eat shit and fuck you. I'm making this better. So, anyway, I'm grateful to my mom, is what I'm saying. And as hot as Susan Sarandon is, she was not a good mom in this fucking movie. Maybe she was handed a better script when she signed on, or maybe she's in fucking gambling debts or something. But Susan Sarandon's a great fucking actress. She deserves better than the script of Mr. Woodcock. Speaking of her, I just earlier today watched the movie Lorenzo's Oil, which she also stars in, which is a movie I will never let my mom watch because it's fucking sad as shit, because it's about parents trying to find a treatment for their son's incurable degenerative disease. And it's George Miller, the guy who did Mad Max, who's, he was an EMT originally, so he knows his shit about medicine. So they don't shy away from, like, some of the details of what this kid's life looks like. He can't fucking swallow, so they got suction machine, and fucking eventually he can't talk or communicate or move. Like, it's fucking sad as hell to watch a child go through this. So my mom would be, like, crying till she passed out if she saw this movie. But it is a good movie. Does the title imply similar themes to Mad Max about an energy crisis? No, it's mostly a medical drama. Because Lorenzo's Oil doesn't refer to gasoline. It refers to the chemical that they managed to put together that can... The whole reason he has the disease is because, like, his body can't break down a certain type of lipids, so they build up and they eat away at, like, the fucking lining of nerve cells and shit. It's complicated. So this oil is, like, it's called Lorenzo's Oil in real life because this is based on a true story. It's like a different form of lipids that can, like, negate the effect of the other. There are debates in real life about how effective it is. The movie depicts it as having, like, some degree of effectiveness, though it doesn't go the full fictional, he's cured instantly like all the other movies like this do. They're a lot more realistic about it. But from the very limited research I did on it, it appears to be that the way it works is that if you have no symptoms of this disease, because you catch it really early, that it can prevent symptoms from popping up. But, this kid had symptoms already, so, it as depicted in the movie, it improves his condition, but it certainly doesn't cure him. And in real life, he fucking died at age 30, paralyzed from, like, muscular dystrophy. So it's a sad fucking story. But the movie's good, so. But yeah, George Miller is he's a really interesting director in terms of his range, because I mean, we all joke about how he did Happy Feet and then Mad Max Fury Road, but then he does shit like this, which is, by the way, rated PG-13, not for any content, but just simply because, like, it literally says for a child's harrowing experience in the little blurb, which amused me because I've never seen that in a PG-13 thing. My dad always talks about how the Happy Feet rating tag said, like, mild peril, even though there's lots of peril in that movie. But I guess because it's animated and it's about penguins, they assumed it must be for children. I've never actually seen it. Oh yeah, one of the dudes who one of the guys I met at my friend's wedding this past weekend. Nice guy. He friended me on Letterboxd and everything. Maybe he's watching now. I don't know. He was really amused for some reason by the fact that my then most recent watch on Letterboxd was Mr. Woodcock. I'm not sure why that was so funny to him, but it was, I guess. Maybe just because of all the movies. Oh, here's some. Fuck it, this is on my mind. So we have the rehearsal dinner on Friday night, and it's, it goes fine. That's how a rehearsal dinner always goes. And then afterwards, my friends are like, hey, we're going to go to this bar. And I was like, all right, well, I don't really fucking want to, but I guess I'll come with you. So I did. And we're, standing around there for a while, you know, drinking, chatting with people. And this dude who's clearly fucking drunk. He didn't look homeless, but he was clearly inebriated. He's kind of like, hey, you guys seen a backpack around here? And I said, no, man, sorry. And he's like, oh, it's empty anyway. It's not the big of a loss. I'm drunk anyway. And so, we wish him good luck, and he goes off to the other end of the bar. And then, like 20 minutes later, he's leaving, and he has a backpack in his hand, and he kind of said goodbye to us. And I said, hey, you found your bag. Like, just to be nice. And he just takes it really seriously. He's like, dude, that's so fucking nice of you to remember. Thank you, man. Like, I was wearing a suit because it had been the rehearsal dinner. So then he's like saying, oh, you gotta tie your tie better. I've been doing this since 1980. I can teach you how to do it. And he kind of like adjusts it and shakes my hand and then leaves. And I'm being nice because he was a very nice man. But the whole time I'm thinking, please don't touch me, you fucking creepy old bastard. Because I don't know where your hands have been. So I made an excuse to go to the bathroom and wash my hands because I don't trust that this motherfucker's not carrying like typhoid or something, or typhus, I guess. But those are the kind of people you meet in Boston dive bars, dudes like that. And then afterwards, they dragged me to another bar where I wasn't gonna have a fucking drink because I'd already had two, but that guy from Letter that I was telling you about, Mr. Woodcock guy, whose name I won't say because I don't want to dox him. He insists on getting me a drink, and he comes back with a fucking Bud Light. And I was like, all right, well, if it was free and you insist I drink it, fine. So I did. Bud Light doesn't taste that bad out of the bottle. It tastes fucking disgusting out of a can. Talked to a absolutely gorgeous woman very briefly because they sat at our table and introduced themselves. Didn't talk to her further because we were leaving, and because she lives in fucking Boston. What am I gonna do? Like drive an hour and a half minimum, however far it is from me to there? Like, no, I don't feel like doing that. But she was really pretty, so glad to know I have the tiniest bit of game left. And then I took a shower and got stoned on the hotel balcony and watched YouTube. And it was a nice night. It's nothing like getting stoned on the hotel balcony. I forgot how hard it is to light a joint outdoors with the fucking wind blowing and everything, man. I haven't done it in forever. I also had forgotten the fact that leaning over the edge of a balcony railing when you're 22 stories up will fuck with your head. And so I didn't again. And it's not like I bent all the way over. I just kind of like peered over. Whoa! It was like Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo. So it was a fun weekend. It would have been nicer if the hotel didn't fuck us on a few things, but we're on the bed really was the big thing. But hey, you know what? I can only complain so much, especially when I didn't pick any of it out. Like I said, I wasn't the best man. I didn't have to plan anything. I just showed up when and where people told me to. But yeah, it was fun. I get so few opportunities to wear a suit, and I look nice in a suit. So it was fun. And the vows were touching, and the parents of both the bride and groom were crying, and it was just a nice experience. Everyone kind of we ate, we drank, we danced, we had a good time. I even briefly took part in the conga line until my back fucking caught on fire and I had to sit down. I'm too old to do the conga line, I guess. Oh yeah, they had so when I get to the hotel, I drop some stuff off with my friend who's getting married, who he got like the suite room, which was not like the honeymoon suite, but it was like a multi-roomed hotel room. And they dropped off free champagne for him and his then fiance. Weird to say his wife still. And they were really touched by that. So when we're in that room, I see a little case, a little, you know, locked case about that big, and it says Ring Security on it. And I was like, oh, that must be some company that sells a little like lockbox for wedding rings. And yes, but there's more to it than that. During the wedding, the ring bearer comes up, and he's a little 5-year-old kid wearing the little child size suit and everything. Ring Security was like part of the bit. They kind of styled him like he was a Secret Service agent. They gave him like sunglasses and an earpiece, and he's got the Ring Security box and hands it to the best man and everything. It was cute. Little 5-year-old Secret Service dude. Speaking of children, this wasn't like a super traditional wedding. It wasn't in a church or anything, but they did do the groom crawls under the bride's dress to take off the garter belt thing. I don't think he actually did it with his teeth, but maybe he did. I don't know. And then they threw that along with the bouquet, which I'd never seen before. But I knew the tradition. My friend standing next to me did not. So he sees our friend get on his knees and start crawling up his new wife's dress in front of like the small children who are standing right there. And he's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? It was pretty funny. Um, I mean, not like the actual thing itself, but the fact that because he'd never been to a wedding that was formal at all. Like all the ones he'd been to were backyard ones where they wore tie dye shirts and shit. But it was a fun night. I think they covered the kids' eyes for that one. I hope they did anyway. I've never understood that tradition. I always found it a little like crass. I mean, not that I'm afraid of that, but like I always felt it stood in odd contrast to like such a formal, fairly sexless event like a traditional wedding. Um, I don't know. Just at least it wasn't a fucking Catholic ceremony, man. The first time I ever went to a wedding, I was 6 or 7 years old, and it was a Catholic ceremony. And I forget if it was the bride or groom, but one of them, I think it was the groom. He was late because some like huge fucking event was going on, and it was fucking up traffic all over the state. So he was late. He was late enough that we were starting to worry. Did he fucking chicken out and run? But no, he just was very, very late. And this was so long ago, he might have not had a cell phone. Come to think of it, I'm not sure. Like I think they knew anyway. Between him being late and it being a Catholic ceremony with the mass and everything, it was probably like 3 fucking hours we were sitting there, and I was 6, so I felt like it was like 16 hours we were sitting there. And that kind of it didn't sour me on weddings, but it made me the fact that the first few weddings I went to were when I was a child made me instinctively expect that all weddings were absurdly long. But no, this one, the actual ceremony was only 15, 20 minutes. And then we took photos and, walked to the restaurant to do the reception and everything. But it was a really nice night. We had a lot of fun. Um, Afterwards, we're like talking because I didn't really book the hotel. We kind of had like a package deal for the hotel rooms. And everyone's like, all right, yeah, we can sleep in tomorrow. And then I ask, yeah, what time is checkout? And the best man goes, 11 a.m. And I'm like, so your definition of sleeping in is fucking like 9:30 in the morning? Because my definition of sleeping in is like noon, 1, sometimes if I was up late enough. I did that today. I was up till like 5 last night. What do you want from me? I'm an adult. This is why I don't have fucking kids, because I can stay up till 5 a.m. on a Monday night and nobody can stop me. Basically, all I gotta do is be here for you, ungrateful degenerates. So I can press the content button I can go into the content mines and stream and mine for memes and shit for all of you. Aren't you so lucky to have me? I can bitch about Mr. Woodcock. I can bitch about how Italians aren't white. Hey, I'm 1/4 Italian. I get to be racist to them. They're one of the only groups I get to be racist to, and I'm gonna take my opportunity to be racist. Yeah, it's just it was a fun time. Wait, what the fuck? Hang on. Sorry, guys. I forgot that I still had Matthew Vaughn's shit open. I guess, so I guess one of the movies that he's not directing, but he's producing, that Matthew Vaughn is producing, is called Stunt Nuts the Movie, which I guess they're saying is part of the Kick-Ass franchise, which is very odd to me because there hasn't been a Kick-Ass movie in forever. There haven't even been new Kick-Ass comics in quite a while. They had a new series. So I don't know. Hang on, I'm just reading this. I completely forgot that the Mark Millar fictional shared universe was a thing. Okay, I guess I have to actually fucking read all this shit now. Oh, god damn it. All right. Guess I have to actually read more Mark Millar shit. I don't love his writing, but, I like the Kick-Ass movies, so. Fuck me, I guess. Life is a fucking nightmare. But hey, I've read worse. I read fucking JLA Act of God. All right, if I could make it through that, I can make it through some Mark Millar edgelord bullshit. You guys ever read JLA Act of God? I don't recommend it. It's fucking terrible. It was written by a writer who seems to not understand who these characters are, and it basically is just there to show off how cool Batman is. Which, yeah, Batman is cool. But you don't need to tear all the other heroes down to make Batman cool. You can just make Batman cool. Excuse me 1 second. I drink a water drink. I drink a root beer drink. I drink a real beer drink. Or however the song goes. Who the fuck is this? Why does Reddit give me notifications? I'm pretty sure I have that turned off on my phone, but fuck me, I guess. I'm still so sad Alien Earth is gone, man. I'm not gone, like it's just over for the season, but it's like it was what I was doing every Tuesday night when I started stream. So now ending stream and not going to immediately get high and watch Alien Earth feels fucking weird to me. It's sad. Sad. Terrible. Fake season ender. When's he gonna croak? I shouldn't talk too much longer because I'm like losing battery on my laptop and I also want to go do other shit. But now, of course, for legal reasons, I will emphasize I am not hoping that he croaks. I'm just surprised he hasn't because he's very old and is clearly having strokes. Like, I can't think of another plausible explanation for why he was doing this. I had to move my mic so you can actually see my mouth there. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to happen probably pretty soon. And that would worry me more because JD Vance, unlike Trump, because Trump doesn't have beliefs, he just likes applause. JD Vance is an authentic Nazi, but he also has 1 HP. Everyone fucking hates him. Nobody wants to talk to him. By the way, you can tell that Trump is decaying because they're putting JD Vance in front of the cameras more often now. They used to hide him away in the cupboard because he's JD fucking Vance. He's the charisma black hole that even Republicans hate. His wife, like, pretty openly fucking hates him. She looks miserable every time she's standing next to him. But yeah, Trump has no authentic beliefs. There's got to be an alternate universe out there where he chose to do a left-wing grift instead. And I want to visit it just because I want to hear the means of production, folks. It's a beautiful means of production. You know who should control that means of production? The workers. Which also kind of implies that that world has right-wing Bernie Sanders, which I would also be intrigued by. The wealth will trickle down. What is good for big corporations is good for America. Despite being only 13% of the population, I'm not going to actually do that one. But, I don't know, right-wing Bernie Sanders would amuse me. Speaking of right-wing cranks, you guys following Curtis Sliwa? At the New York City mayoral debate was, I guess, last week. But he just fucking randomly starts talking about the time he got shot by the Gotti family, which is a true story. But it's really fucking funny to me. Yeah, I love Curtis. I mean, he's a crank, and I don't want him to actually have any power. But god damn it, unlike all the others, he's an authentic lunatic, and I love him. Can we make him parade czar or like mayor of Bizarro, New York City, or I mean, we already kind of have a Bizarro New York City. It's called Pittsburgh. I want him to have something because he has earned it with his lunatic behavior. And I love his stupid red beret that he has the tan line for, and they did their very best to cover it in makeup, and it didn't work very well. But yeah, I love the look on Cuomo's face when Curtis thought the question for Cuomo was for him and start, oh yeah, that was hysterical. Dude, that fucking, I love how openly Cuomo doesn't want to be there. Like, he has no fucking energy. He doesn't care about any of what he's saying. He doesn't believe any of what he's saying. After he lost the primary, he initially said he was done. And then, like, a day or two later said, no, I'm staying in this race as an independent. So I don't know if AIPAC sent him a message reminding him that they have footage of him on Epstein's Island or something, or if the Democrats just like said they'd finance his retirement home if he kept running. But it is so goddamn funny. Oh, that's what that button does. That's cool. I don't know. If Mondani wasn't in this race, I think I'd have to vote for fucking Curtis Sliwa because the choices would be right wing or right wing with cats, and it's like, hey, I'll take the dude who's going to stay in his studio apartment and turn Gracie Manor into a fucking cat sanctuary. Like, at least Curtis Sliwa, for all of his many faults and insane positions, believes in things. He believes that his policy positions will improve the state of affairs, whereas the rest of the Republicans believe that their policy positions will allow them to rape children with impunity and siphon money out of the country's financial gas tank. That's all they really care about. At least they're honest about it, I guess, right? But then there's Curtis, who actually believes his own shit. You know what? I respect that. I respect a lunatic who believes it. And then, of course, there's Mamdani, who just has like the most ungodly, perfect messaging discipline. Always says the fucking right thing. Do I have any thoughts on the free buses initiative? It's good. I think everything should be free because I think money shouldn't exist. But if you mean in terms of the practicality of it, yeah, of course you can make that happen. New York City is like the wealthiest city in the history of the human race. You're telling me that you can't, like, didn't Zoran say his plan was like a 2% tax increase on the ultra wealthy? Like, that's all it would fucking take. And then everyone goes, oh, they're just going to flee New York City. It's like they're not going to flee the financial capital of the planet Earth because their taxes go up 2%. If they do, they're pathetic. And also, are we supposed to just kowtow to these fucking ghouls' demands every time? Hey, the rich people aren't going to like it. That's why we have to run the conservative who grabs women. Like fucking quote. What was Curtis's line? Slapping fannies and killing grannies. Oh, Curtis Sliwa, you delightful fucking lunatic. I love you so much. Slapping fannies and killing grannies. Or maybe he said it the other way around. I forget. But yeah, that's what Cuomo did. He made sense in the numbers, but moderators also mentioned the New York government wouldn't allow tax raise on the higher percent. I don't think Mamdani gave a concrete answer, but it sounds like he's riding on hope there. I mean, municipality, they can change state and local tax laws. I don't know. I'm not a fucking expert on New York City or New York State bylaws, but the governor of New York has bent the knee to Mamdani. She has bowed to the mandate. Wisely so, in my opinion, because you're not stopping him. Even if he doesn't get that fucking tax initiative done, you're not stopping him. He's going to enact as much of his policy as he possibly can, because unlike everyone else, unlike Andrew Cuomo especially, he believes it. And speaking of, I love the fact that Mamdani and Sliwa appear to almost like each other, or at least be civil, if for no other reason because of their shared fucking seething vitriolic hatred for Cuomo. Which is fair. Andrew Cuomo is a fucking reprehensible scumfuck of a human being. But that's really funny that, like, not the one thing, but the main thing that Sliwa and Mamdani agree on is they both hate his fucking guts. I love it. I love that, like, every single time it was Mamdani's turn to speak, he found a way to take a shit in Andrew Cuomo's mouth while staying on message. It was so funny, man. Fucking Andrew goddamn Cuomo. I can't believe that that's the guy that they astroturfed. Like the current New York City governor is only governor because he resigned because he, the previous governor, resigned in disgrace because of the whole I molested a ton of fucking women thing. Like, that's really bad, and we shouldn't give this motherfucker more power. And also, it should to him feel like a step down going from governor of the whole state to mayor of the city. I know that it doesn't really work that way. In reality, the mayor of New York City is probably the second most prominent elected official in the U.S. I wish Mamdani could run for president. I say fuck it. I say let him. We've wiped our ass with the Constitution in every other respect. I say let him. He's been in the U.S. since he was 7. That's good enough. What was that old tweet? Yeah, let me try to find it. I quote it like once a day, so I think I can find it. No, not Como. Cuomo. I make a dub. Come on, man. Give me the fucking thing I'm looking for. Yeah, I think this is it. I didn't realize this was from Dylan Burns. Maybe it wasn't originally, but because I like Dylan Burns a lot. I'm still not over the fact that Andrew Cuomo really tried to use "I'm making the pasta" excuse to get out of his groping escapade troubles. I don't know if that's the original, but I quote it once a day because that's so fucking funny because it's so accurate. Like he didn't literally say this, but the way his comments got summarized were, "I'm not perverted, I'm just Italian." Anyway, I am at 10% battery because I stupidly did not plug my laptop in before streaming. I've been going for almost an hour and a half. I say that's good enough because I'm the streamer and it's my show, and if you don't like it, eat shit. So I'll be back on Thursday. In the meantime, I'm gonna go play the new Indiana Jones New Game Plus update. And since I know the story already, I'll probably listen to some YouTube podcasty stuff while I do it. So take care, everybody. Stay hydrated. Fucking take your pills or do whatever other medical shit you need to do. And stay pantsless. I will see you on Thursday. Goodbye, everyone.